Yes, we are.
Brave Haven Studios. Welcome back. It feels good to be back, buddy.
It's good. It is good to be back. You
Ah.
spent a little time down in the heat down in Vegas at the Summer League last week.
Is the understatement.
Man.
It was toasty. If I would have accidentally left a peanut butter and jelly in my Jeep, that thing would have been toasted. Yeah, it was great. I had a great time down there last week. I apologize to the viewers. I probably should have, sent out a few notes via social media, letting everybody know that we were going to take a 1 week break. I was down in Las Vegas the previous weekend of the NBA Summer League live full action. It actually kicked off in Orlando on the 5th and ran through the 5th through the 11th in Orlando. And then 11th, and then tonight, Bob, is actually the finals of the NBA Summer League tournament that's going on in Vegas right now.
Awesome.
And a big shout out to Coach Ty Corbin, who is the head coach of the Sacramento Summer League team, who's in the finals playing right
Awesome.
now.
That's
So,
great. Good for Ty.
congratulations for Coach Ty Corbin.
That is good.
And actually a score. We're talking live right now. The Sacramento Kings are beating the Houston Rockets in the finals. It's the second quarter with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left. And Coach Ty Corbin and his Kings are winning 22-21. Way to go, Coach Corbin.
Push it, baby, push it.
He didn't forget how to do it.
Nope, that's
Great.
that's good. That's good. I'm glad. It's good to see him on a sideline there. Even
That's right.
Even
That's
in
right. We
that
wish him the
capacity.
best.
So
It's
absolutely.
sometimes a new environment and a new scenery can do people wonders.
Yep.
Look at LeBron James.
Going home.
Hey, LeBron James, a few years ago when he took his talents to South Beach, everybody was burning the jerseys. There are a lot of jerseys back on
Oh,
people's
man,
back
no
in
kidding.
Cleveland right now. And
Well,
I hear he might even change his number.
Oh, really?
He's thinking either 6 or 23. If he goes 6, can you imagine the money that they're going to make on that jersey sale alone in
Oh
merchandise?
my gosh, yeah, no
And
kidding.
I'm sure
No kidding.
that's a strategy.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you, LeBron. You're coming back home, and the whole NBA landscape has changed with that one move. And the big rumor right now, they're talking about trading the number 1 pick the last 2 years. Anthony Bennett from UNLV and Andrew Wiggins of Kansas, who was the number 1 pick. They're talking like that's kind of getting legs, that they may trade for Kevin Love to Minnesota and another draft pick.
Wow.
So, man.
Yeah, it amazes me how much the league changes every year.
Oh, boy.
Year in, year out.
Yep.
It changes over and over and over again.
The
you know, and-
landscape has changed immensely. The balance of power. The East is kind of open right now. For years it was Miami. Who was going to beat Miami?
Right.
LeBron leaves Miami. Chris Bosh re-signs with Miami. Dwayne Wade stays in Miami. A few players have moved around. Indiana has made some decent little moves. You've had, with the draft and free agency. So it's interesting. And our poll question tonight was, which NBA team is better now than they were before free agency started? The big buzz out here in Utah, here in the Valley, was, Gordon Hayward. What was going to happen with
Right.
him? They had to match an offer from Charlotte at $68 million. I think they got like $64 million here. So congratulations, Gordon Hayward. You got BYU's Jimmer Fredette. He has just changed teams. He's going to be with the Pelicans.
Yep.
And I hear he's going to be wearing number 32.
Awesome.
BYU 32.
And
Jimmer
he's
Fredette.
playing with a former guest of ours.
That's exactly
yeah.
right. How cool that, let's go back to that. 3 of our former guests have got big things going on, Bob,
Yeah.
and it's so cool, and I'm excited for him. Joshua Medcalf, one of our training experts,
Right.
came on in the beginning part of our series of the season, and he has a new book out. It's called Burn Your Goals. I highly encourage anybody to get a hold of Joshua Medcalf, at Joshua Medcalf, for that book, Burn Your Goals, because I tell you, it is going to be a tool to help prepare you mentally and get you physically right. And what a dynamic
Yeah.
and charismatic character he was. I mean, just full of energy. And we had a little issue where I think our Wi-Fi wasn't quite working, so then we got him back on the phone. But we need to have him back on the show.
Yeah, we do.
again.
Talk
Joshua,
about his book.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so Burn Your Goals. Go check that out. Also, Anthony Morrow, we had here as a guest.
Right.
He signs with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He gets to go out there and be a teammate with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. You have to be thrilled for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
His ability to shoot and open it up, that's going to help. that is really going to help. So when Russell Westbrook kind of slows things down, I actually think Russell's a better 2 than he is at point. Because sometimes he doesn't always make great decisions with the ball in his hands, but he's so explosive. He's so athletic. He can get to the basket, and he knows that. And as a coach, you hate to take that away from him, but it's wow. Congratulations, Anthony Morrow signing with Oklahoma City Thunder, and then Anthony Tolliver, our guy with Active Faith.
Yep.
He signs with the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, that is cool.
Wow, good for them. So 3 guests have had big things going on for him here in this free agency, and of course Joshua with his book, so I'm excited about that. Last week I got to spend time with some friends of mine down in Vegas, the Schnupp family. Their son William got married, and I didn't get there in time for the wedding, didn't get there in time for the reception, but I got to spend time with them there at the hotel and spend Friday with them and Saturday and a little bit Sunday morning. And so congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. William Schnupp. Wish you the best with your nuptials, and you've got a beautiful family and one on the way, and that's so exciting. So want to send Bill and Jackie and Trisha and Jake a special thank you, because I really enjoyed spending time with them and catching up. And then this weekend, after the NBA Summer League, another buddy of mine contacted me. His daughter was here out of Boise, and she was playing in a soccer tournament out here in West Jordan.
Oh, huh?
Huge facility out there, Bob. As a coach, it was thrilling to sit there, and I bet there were, I don't want to over-exaggerate or misrepresent the tournament, but I bet there were probably 12 to 15 soccer fields going on at once.
One time.
With kids from all ages, both genders, and his daughter is a goalie. So, Lauren, I watched you play goalie. You were unscored upon in that last game. You guys came in third, so congratulations to the Nationals. Lauren Dannenberg. We got to remember that name because she was a great little goalie. Now, she didn't have a lot of action because her team played so well. There weren't a lot of shots on goal, but you talk about powerful. She picked up the ball a few times and kicked it, put that thing way past midfield, and she's only 13 years old.
Holy cow.
So, Lauren Dannenberg, keep doing what you're doing. We're proud of you. Todd and Melissa, it was great to see you. And the boys' football season's coming up, so it's fun to catch up with them, too.
Yeah, it is.
Also, Coach Mike Hall, our guest, the BYU assistant coach, congratulations to he and his family. They just had a baby daughter.
Awesome.
Listen to this, Bob. 7 pounds, 6 ounces, 19 inches long, Tatum Sherry Hall. Welcome to the world, Tatum Sherry Hall.
That's
Can't
right.
wait to have you be a guest on the Coach Scott Field Show. Congratulations.
That's right.
What a beautiful child. I've seen some pictures on Instagram. She's adorable. She's going to be a heartbreak. I can see already, Mike, you're going to be sweating because she's a knockout, just like Hallie. So your job is cut out for you. So
yep, she turns 12, 13. He's gonna be cleaning the shotgun.
His hands are full. So congratulations to the Halls. We're super excited for you. Gosh, what a blessing that is. I mean, they've got 4 beautiful kids, and what a neat family and great people. You're just excited to see great stuff like that happen. Let's give a quick shout out to the sponsors. Brave Haven Media, right here, the home of the Coach Scott Fields Show. Brave Haven Studios. BraveHaven.com. You can get a hold of Bob Fitzgerald, the owner, the operator, the CEO, the COO, the man of many trades.
Yeah, what do you call him?
Yeah, he does it all. Matter of fact, I hope you see his mug right over there in that corner right now as we speak. He does a fantastic job with this show. And Bob, I got to tell you, I'm walking around the NBA Summer League Saturday and Sunday, and I was truly touched by the number of people who came up and gave very positive comments where they've taken the time and they've watched the show and they're like, hey, Coach, great job on the show. Continue the great work. And I got to be honest with you, I was really touched that many people in our fraternity and in our realm and atmosphere have taken the time from their schedules and are watching what we're putting out. And it meant a lot to me. And it's more of a compliment to you and the work that you do and the producing and the lights and the sound and this wonderful studio. I mean, this is just first class.
Well, and it's been such a work in progress. And from that first test that we ever did, we've come a long ways, and we still have bugs every week, and hopefully tonight we'll get through scot-free.
Well, I actually, of course, we didn't do a show last week, and
right.
again, I'll take ownership of this one. I probably did not communicate well enough with our loyal fans and viewers out there. We were down in Vegas last week. I apologize that I didn't get messages out to everybody. It was just a busy time for us, but I apologize. I should have put messages out there. I did receive texts, and some people were like, hey, where's the show? I can't find the show. And I was like, oh, goodness, Bob, I should have put some messages out there to them. So to you fans and followers, I deeply apologize for that, but so glad that you're back with us tonight, Monday, July 21st. And you know what that means? July 21st, we are 100 days away from the NBA tip-off.
Oh,
countdown's
100 days.
100 days.
How do you keep that in your? Are you a savant there, Scott? We're gonna start calling you
I was just
Rain
in
Man?
Vegas. I should have been counting cards. I could have put the money towards the show. But yeah, 100 days till tip-off.
Oh,
I saw
man.
a neat post today, and they had the old Wilt Chamberlain when he scored 100 points. It said 100 days to tip-off, and I was like, I got to promote that. That's
cool.
awesome.
That's cool.
So, and then also, speaking of the NBA Summer League, got to congratulate the Jazz and their organization. Rudy Gobert made second team All NBA Summer League down there. So that's great development for the big guy, taking up a lot of space, blocking a lot of shots, changing shots. He's starting to finish around the basket a little bit easier. So congratulations to them. I'll give a quick rundown on who was first team All-League. And I was able to watch these guys firsthand, Bob. And some of these guys are some veterans. A couple of the guys are rookies. Some of them have D-League experience. And boy, is it fun to watch these guys compete. And I had fun, taking some notes, doing scouting reports for some teams. And I'm not going to lie, it felt so good to be back in my environment.
Yep.
Sometimes I kind of feel like I'm a fish out of water. Can't quite get my hair, but boy, down there I was just a happy Nemo, just swimming around doing my thing. But anyway, I swear I will never do that Nemo impression again. So all you want to see
I think that may end up on a highlight reel, Scott.
Oh no! Oh well, I set myself up for it. So anyway, trying to be creative.
That's right.
Okay, so Doug McDermott, the young man from Creighton, Dougie McBuckets. He made first team, all team with the Chicago Bulls, and I was impressed with McBuckets. He
Dougie McBuckets?
Listen.
Is that his real name?
That's what everybody's calling him, McBuckets. And hashtag
McBuckets.
Doug can fill it up. He was averaging about 18 points a game down there, Bob, and I watched them against the Clippers, and he got his rhythm. He was filling it up. He had three threes in a row that game on Saturday night, and I was like, this kid's the real deal. I mean, I think the Bulls got themselves a winner and a guy who can help them be title contenders because they just got Pau Gasol down there too.
Yeah.
Former Jazz Carlos Boozer going to the Lakers.
Lakers, yeah.
Again, here's that whole landscape we're changing. I get off track because I get so excited talking about all these players moving around. But anyway, Dougie McBuckets, first team, all team. Donatas Motiejunas, the big guy from Europe who was drafted a couple years ago, he's really playing well for the Houston Rockets. He's got his back to the basket. He's good going to the paint, going baseline. His over-under moves, his footwork. The big 7-footer is doing some nice things, but he passes well too for being a big man. So remember the name Motiejunas. I think you're going to see him now that Chandler Parsons has gone to the Mavericks. I think you may see him kind of competing for that stretch 4 spot. There, especially with Dwight Howard in there on the post, if he can step in there and stretch out the defense and spread it, I think you're going to see Dwight Howard even have a more dominant year because they won't pack things in on him. Otto Porter with the Washington Wizards is first team. Glenn Rice Jr., a guy who has paid his dues. He's been in the D-League. Really has caught his rhythm. He's got some confidence. His body language is good. The other night in the semifinals, he hits a big 3 deep in the corner after he missed 2 free throws. Coach Gasol pulls him over, kind of pumps him up. His teammates found him. He hits it at the buzzer to send it into the 3rd overtime.
Wow.
Exciting game. And I'm happy for him because here's a guy who's worked extremely hard. He's got the DNA. His dad was a good NBA player, and he's paving his own way and making his own name. So congratulations, Glenn Rice Jr. and Tony Snell with the Chicago Bulls. That rounds out your first team All-NBA Summer League. Wow. So then you got Tim Hardaway Jr., another guy in the D-League who's kind of coming through. You got Jordan McRae, Russ Smith, who was with Patino at Louisville, made second team, and T.J. Warren in there with Rudy Gobert making all second league. team with the NBA Summer League. It is so fun to be down there in that atmosphere with all the coaches and general managers and all the agents and, man, people, hustling to get their players the best contracts. And I mean, it's intense. It's competitive. You see agents getting upset because maybe they put their player with one NBA team and he wasn't quite getting the minutes that he should have been getting. So then you're thinking, okay, well, should we put him with this other team because he would have got more minutes to promote himself, to make his market value go up? So, I mean, it is a fun time at the NBA Summer League, Bob.
Well, yeah, and those young guys down there are scrapping for just a few, in reality, just a few positions in the NBA. But the harder they play, it opens other doors and other options to them, which can open things up further down the road, just like some of the guys we talked about earlier in the show.
That's right. I looked at Nick Johnson, who I believe he was like the 42nd or 46th pick with the Houston Rockets, the young man who was from the University of Arizona. So low second-round pick who almost didn't get drafted. We're talking 6'3", 195. That kid can play. And, I mean, I would be very, very shocked. Of course, I don't know. My fingers are on the pulse. This is the outside looking in, and I'm just an unemployed coach doing a coaching show. But that kid, to me, he played in Orlando, and he's also played in Vegas. He will be invited into camp, and I could see him in a nice backup role because the kid is physically strong. He controls tempo. He controls pace. He sees the floor well. He's strong enough to go in, create contact, and yet still finish strong against some of those big 7-foot monsters. It's fun to watch guys like that who come in with something to prove, and then you still have those guys who come in who were undrafted and are going hard to try to earn a spot. And there's names that I could sit here and give that just really impressed me because they're either super athletic or they got high motors. They bring good energy. Montana had a point guard, Bob, that was in there playing with Cleveland, in there with Andrew Wiggins. His name was Will Cherry, and I was really impressed with this kid. He went out there, he competed a couple times. They had ball movement, and they got the ball out to him with like 2 seconds to go on the shot clock, and he needed to create something before the shot clock goes. I mean, he went on a string where he hit 2 or 3 threes in a row, and you could just see his, kind of like an Anthony Morrow story that we shared with our viewers from a few years back with Golden State, and I saw that same thing in him, and I'm like, that's a name to remember because undrafted, just playing up in Montana, playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, whether he sticks in the NBA this year or maybe he uses the D-League as a vehicle to market himself, or if he goes over and makes big money and then tries to come back, I see that kid being on an NBA roster at some point because he brings it, and he was competitive, and he was good. And think about it. People don't know Montana. What do they have up in Montana? Will Cherry could go. Really liked his game.
That's cool.
Well, so there's my scouting report for that.
Will Cherry and McBuckets.
Yeah, big buckets, baby. I don't know, and I'm not trying to brand, but if I was on the marketing side, I could see Mickey D's all over that McBucket stuff.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I would have it rolling already to have him in the studio to start selling something for McDonald's.
We got to get him on the show. That'd be
Dougie
fun.
McBuckets.
Dougie
doing
McBuckets.
it. Hashtag. Big buckets, baby. Well, that's great. Hey, we haven't even talked about our guests tonight.
No.
2 great guests. During my hustle and running back and forth from the Cox Pavilion and the Thomas of Mack Arena, where the gyms are going constantly and multiple games going throughout the day, I ran into a friend gosh, I've known him for years. Tommy Smith is going to be on our show tonight. He is the Senior Director of Basketball Operations with the D-League. Super excited to have Tommy Smith come on and be a guest with us and give a different perspective and insight, a little different than what we've had. We've had front office people, we've had scouts, we've had coaches, we've had former general managers. But to have someone like Tommy Smith come on who is in the upper echelon in administration with the D-League, I think should be very insightful with quality content for our global viewers here, Bob. I'm excited to have Tommy come on the show. And then after that, we're going to have another local talent come on. Spencer Anderson from Riverton High School is going to come and be a live guest here on our show. Spencer is one of these young men who goes up to John Madsen and works. And when he comes in, when you see this young man's body, John Madsen has done great work with him. So teamjmp.com, John Madsen Performance. Spencer does a great job with him, and he gets in the gym with me and works on his player development stuff, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And I don't want to oversell or make people think that I'm, trying to just promote myself, because I'm not about that. But I received the coolest text on Saturday, Bob, with another one of the gentlemen who's coming into one of our private workouts, and we do our skill development.
Mm-hmm.
The young man was so excited. And TJ, this is for you, buddy. So if you're watching or your family's watching, super proud of you. It thrilled me to receive your text. He went 12 of 14 from the three-point line in a scrimmage Saturday morning against UBC, and
Wow.
his confidence is growing. And that just makes me feel so good, because these kids are working extremely hard in that gym. And so TJ, keep up the hard work. I'm proud of you. We'll continue to go hard there in the lab and keep it going. So let's give a quick shout out to our two other sponsors. We'll take a break, and we'll get Tommy Smith right here on the Coach Scott Fields Show. Salon Dante, Kim Fields, 801-572-8812, about 94 South and 7th East. Go up and give Kim Fields a call. Let her take care of you. She'll have you looking beautiful. And then again, our sponsor with MetLife, Nick Fitzgerald, a financial advisor out there. Give Nick Fitzgerald a call, 801-999-3773. We got to really thank our sponsors, and we're still in the process of putting our package together
That's right.
for our second season, and I'm excited about that, Bob.
I am too. I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
doing some marketing here in the next little bit, and
Yeah.
getting ready for the second season
Yeah.
of the Coach Scott Fields Show, and
You bet.
running for another 12 episodes at least.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to be a part of that, give us a call. We've got a couple different ways. You can contact us by email at bravehaven.com or bravehaven@mac.com, excuse
Okay.
me. And then our phone number, I'll put that back up on the screen real quick.
Sure. 801-738-8697. Give Bob Fitzgerald a call. We're putting together our teams. We've actually have some people that we've been in contact with.
That's right.
For our team leads in the international market, and then also our national market, and then also our local market. So
Yep.
that's big stuff that's coming up, and I'm excited about it, especially when I'm walking around the NBA Summer League and the people who came up to me and said the nice comments. I can't tell you how great that made me feel.
Oh yeah, and that's a credit to your hard work. I think it's a credit to your hard work, and just the
appreciate it.
quality of people that you're bringing in for us to have the honor to have on the show.
Well, it means a lot, but again, you've got me looking awful good behind these lights over here, because when you look at all this, it's hard to make this look good. But anyway, hey, let's take a break, and we're going to get Tommy Smith live on the show. Super excited to have him come on and be a part of it. So we'll get Tommy Smith on right after this short break.
In order to complete this call, you must dial.
We're back with the Coach Scott Fields Show here Monday, July 21st. And again, the NBA Summer League Finals are going on live right now. So some of you may have that going on in the background. You've got this going on live on your computer streamed at either bravehaven.com or coachscottfields.com or on our YouTube channel. And if that's the case, we really appreciate you doing that. Let's see if we can get a score real quick on that Houston Rockets and Sacramento Kings score. That's the finals
Hello.
out there at the NBA Summer League.
Hey, is this Tommy?
Yes.
Tommy, this is Bob Fitzgerald, Brave Haven Media. I've got Coach Scott Fields here. I'd like to talk with you on the air if that's okay with you.
Yes, sir. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Take it away, Scott.
Tommy Smith.
Scott, good evening. How are you?
My friend, I am well, thank you, and thank you for being a part of the show tonight, my friend.
My pleasure, sir. It's good to see you in Las Vegas, and glad to be on. Thanks for having me.
You know what? I was just sharing with the viewers that I was running around and scrambling, and it was writing up some scouting reports, and was just going between the Thomason and Mack and getting into Cox, and I thought I caught a glimpse of you over there on the corner, and of course you were doing your due diligence, working hard. You were on one phone call. You and I had a brief conversation. You had another phone call coming in, so I know you're an extremely busy man, and for us to have a gentleman, with your expertise and your background, once again, we're blessed and lucky to have the type of individual like yourself. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to misrepresent you and what you do, but the Senior Director of Basketball Operations with the D-League, correct?
Yes, sir. That's right, and thank you for the kind words. I deal with a lot of different areas and league policies and owner issues and things of that nature, and then I work on the team business side and revenue production, so I get to do the business side and the basketball side, which I really enjoy.
Well, if we can, let's backtrack, because I've known of you for years, Coach, and tell everybody your background, the years of coaching that you've done, the places where you've been, some of the stops that you've made, and kind of your journey, to get to where you're at now, Tommy.
Well, Scott, I coached college basketball for about 20 years at Austin Peay, Middle Tennessee State, Cumberland University, and then I was in the CBA in Sioux Falls for 8 years, and I've been in the NBA for about 8 years. So I'm getting up there in age. I'm not getting any younger, and I worked as a sports agent, and so I've had a lot of different life experiences, which I've really enjoyed. I've learned something at every one of them, and I've been around the game in some fashion more than half of my adult life, and coaching or on the business side or both. And I'm a basketball fan. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the work, and that's why I'm still doing it, and I'm lucky they let me do it.
Well, Tommy, you do a great job, and you're being very humble. When you mention some of those stops that you've made, it brings back and lets me in a reminder of how small our coaching fraternity is. A great friend of mine who I got to coach with when we were number 2 in the nation at Chipola Junior College, he played at Austin Peay. Coach Bob Stennett. You may even know that name.
Oh, absolutely. He was at Pensacola Junior College for a while, I do believe.
Yeah, he was at Pensacola. Yeah, he did a great job. I got to work with him at Chipola Junior College, and again, it's a small world because there's so many of us who know each other and know of each other, and it's just so fun to sit and talk and catch up and just talk basketball,
That's right. It never gets old, and I run into folks all the time, which is the fun part of it. I love all phases of basketball, college, high school, NBA. I love it all. Obviously, I love the NBA, and
sure.
The coaching and the teamwork are all synonymous with what being a good neighbor and a good citizen are in life, and I think our players do a great job of that.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about the D-League, because you know what? It was so fun, Tommy. I would sit there and I watched the D-League select team play a couple times, and a former player of mine who was a former guest on the show, Sean Rooks, was down there coaching on that select team there this weekend, or this last week. And, that team did a really nice job and played competitive basketball. And there are a couple of young men on that squad that have really done a good job of marketing themselves and putting them in a position, to get camp invites. And it's exciting for the league because the growth and development of the D-League is truly, truly something fun to watch and be a part of.
That's exactly right. It's well said. Chris Alford, our VP of Basketball Operations, does a great job of putting that team together. Connor Henry did a great job coaching, and they did. They played well, and they weren't together that long.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing to come out and play like that. Connor was, of course, coached the Fort Wayne Mad Ants for the D-League title this year, and Tony Mitchell, one of our team members, was on the Mad Ants. But the guys played extraordinarily well. They carried themselves well. They competed, and was very proud of them. And we just had a blast watching them. and the teams that beat them, they had to play to beat us. I can tell you that.
That's exactly right. Well, matter of fact, I think the opening night, you guys played real well against the New Orleans Pelicans, and it was a tight game, I think, within 2. And then Sunday afternoon, I was sitting there and I watched and I was taking notes when you played Atlanta, and it was that double overtime thriller that ended in sudden death with the D-League team beating the Atlanta Hawks that night.
It's probably the most exciting game of the whole tournament that it did after 2-minute overtime. Then they have to keep on schedule, and that's exactly right. And the opening game against New Orleans, our team had a big lead and lost it down the stretch and at the end. But it took a former D-League coach to beat us, Brian Gates of the New Orleans Pelicans, and Brian has done a spectacular job with his career and won a title in Idaho. And it was good. So we like to say it took a D-Leaguer to beat us.
I love it. Coach Nick Nurse, Coach Brian Gates, Coach Dale Osborne, who's with Portland. Those guys are friends of mine, and I'm so proud to see them have the success and go on with their careers where they're at. And, it's a lot of fun. And what I noticed, Tommy, about that D-League team, most of the NBA teams had 1 or 2 guys who were really trying to, take over. And I don't want to be negative and say they're trying to show out, but the D-League team, even though they were together for a short time, Coach Henry did a good job because he had them spaced out. They seemed to accept their roles, and the D-League team had multiple weapons because most nights with the D-League team, 4 or 5 guys were in double figures, and they had some continuity to their game. They had some flow to their game, and they could even get down 10 or 12 points, but they stuck together and they continued to compete, and it's fun to watch for these kids to be in that environment and to get that opportunity to showcase their abilities.
That's right. They were. It's interesting. You want to showcase your talents, but they did it in a very unselfish fashion, and that's a tribute to Coach Henry and Coach Gansey and Coach Rooks and the staff and Chris Albert for what they did. And that's exactly right. And, sometimes guys want to just go out and shoot, but these guys all were unselfish, and they all made the extra pass, and they all made the extra rotation on defense. It was really fun to watch, and we couldn't have been more proud of them.
Oh, I was thrilled to be there to observe, and like you say, that double overtime, sudden death thriller. If it wasn't the most exciting game, it was right there in the top 2 or 3, because then you got to look at when Glenn Rice, came down and hit that big jumper for Washington to win in triple overtime to get them to where they're at, deep into the tournament. But boy, that was a lot of fun. And Tommy, I can't lie about it. I'm excited to try to be a part of that D-League because I love where the league's going. You see some hybrid systems. You're seeing one-on-one affiliations with the NBA teams, and it truly is all about player development and preparing them for the transition and to get them to the next level, whether you're a general manager, whether you're a coach, whether you're a player, or even if you're just in sales or marketing. It's a great place to get better and learn and to hopefully get them to where they want to go to be in the NBA.
That's right. It's such a fun league, and the development is across the board everywhere. Players, coaches, executives, trainers, referees. These teams are embedded in their community. It's neat to see the players, chasing that dream and the vision and showing the enthusiasm you have to have. And we really are very, very proud of our D-League and what it stands for and what it's accomplished and what it's going to continue to do on the horizon moving forward.
You betcha. Well, I'll tell you what, like I said, I'd love to be a part of it. I was putting some feelers out while I was down there, shaking some hands and introducing myself to people. I just truly believe in what the league stands for and what it's about, and what a great opportunity that would be. And I know that you do a great job with it. You made a great comment. Even the referees, I thought it was neat when the league began. There was an NBA referee, there was a D-League referee, and there was a FIBA referee out there. And they were also working on their skills and learning so that they could grow and develop. And the referee commissioner was right there. They're reviewing things. They're watching videotapes. So it truly is all about everybody getting better at their skill and craft. And it was interesting to watch it because I was keen to it, and I was watching the FIBA referees because sometimes they were calling travels on the guys because they call things a little bit different in FIBA, and the players have to adjust to that. And as the league continued, the refereeing continued to get better, and it's truly fun to watch that whole summer league, whether it be in Orlando and Las Vegas. And Warren Legary has done a masterful job with the growth. I believe this was the 10th year that the NBA Summer League was going on down there in Vegas.
It was a great crowd, and you're exactly right. Warren does a spectacular job. There were games in the Cox Pavilion you couldn't even get in.
Yeah.
So it's a terrific summer league. I enjoy going out there, and hopefully get to go back year after year. It's the basketball center of the world for like 2 weeks.
You better believe it. And I thought it was just amazing how I just happened to come through and I see you, and you was over on the side. You had your backpack and you were taking calls and working, and I just had to come up and say hello to you. And I'm so glad that we were able to cross paths and spend a little bit of time together. And I appreciate your mentorship as well, because I know you've got so much going on, and just the fact that you take the time for someone like myself and come and be a part of our show, it really does mean a lot to us, Tommy.
Well, I'm proud to be here, Scott. I appreciate everything you do and your passion for basketball. It's good to catch up, and I'm sure I'll see you down the road. I travel quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'll come on anytime you want me, and thank you very much for having me.
Well, you bet. Well, let me ask you one more question before we have you go. When these franchises are coming together, and whether you're a player or whether you're a coach, what is the best way for a young player to try to get himself, and whether it be a free agent camp with the D-League? Chris Alpert is the head of the player personnel, if I'm not wrong. What's the best way for these players who are making the transition from college to get into the pro ranks and maybe want to pursue the D-League? What's the best route for them to go, Tommy?
Avenues. If you don't get in an NBA camp, which is not easy to do,
right.
Every team has a free agent tryout camp. You can go to the NBA website, click on the D-League or NBADleague.com, and go through a free agent tryout and go and show how good you are and seize your opportunity. The MVP of the league, Ron Howard, got in the league that way,
right.
And Fort Wayne won the league. So he came walking right off the street. So there's definitely a lot of those types of stories. It's just opportunity, and it's the old saying, the 9 most important words are stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. Just because an NBA team hasn't seen you yet doesn't mean you can't play. And there's national tryouts on the website, but free agent at this point, team free agent camps is probably the best route to get in the league.
Yeah. Well, that's a great nugget for our listeners. We've got a strong national following and international following. We've got Tommy Smith, the Senior Director of Basketball Operations with the D-League here on our show, and great advice for these players. Get on the NBA D-League website. Try to find out, the team that's closest in your area to go to a national tryout camp. Come into the free agent camps. Try to earn yourself a spot. Anything can happen. We've seen great growth and progress within the league. There are some hybrid systems out there. There are some single affiliate systems going on out there. And Coach, just as a coach, like yourself and like myself, what kind of advice would you give to a coach who is maybe trying to coach, or a referee? What's the best way for them to try to, promote themselves to help them get into where, maybe they can help a minor league franchise?
On a coaching standpoint, is do whatever you got to do to get your foot in the door, get to know people, be seen. Referees, they have camps on the site that that tell you have to go through those, and just always try to improve your craft. As the late great John Wooden used to say, you learn the most after you know it all. And I learn something new every day, and you never stop learning. You should never stop trying to the day you retire. And it's simple advice, but it's also true. It's not complicated, and there'll be many opportunities along the way to give up, and it's just another. As the way I look at it, on my road, that's just one less person I got to beat out to get where I want to go. And it's just about trying and doing what you want to do, and never getting discouraged. It really is. It's a simple formula.
Well, I love the advice. I appreciate the insight. I love the nuggets that you're sharing with everybody. Are you back home in Nashville right now, my friend?
I am in Nashville. I go to New York Sunday. I'll be in New York next week. And back on. I was on the road for like 10 straight days, so I'm working from Nashville this week.
Good for you. I'm glad you're home. Hopefully you'll get to catch up a little bit on your rest. And I know you're always working hard, but Tommy, thank you so much for taking time and being a part of the show. And we'll have to get you back on again, especially when the D-League season starts kicking back up again, and teams are getting around and getting the league going again next November.
That'd be fine. Thank you for having me. Keep up the great work, Scott, and I'll see you down the road, buddy.
You got it, my man. I appreciate you, Tommy.
Okay, good night.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Tommy Smith, Senior Director of Basketball Operations with the D-League.
Yep, that's pretty cool. He seems like a great guy. He just seems like a guy you'd want to sit at a coffee shop with and just
talk,
shoot the breeze.
That's it's so fun in our fraternity and with what we do to sit there and catch up with guys like Tommy. Like I'm saying, we just crossed paths, and I was so thrilled to see him. I mean, we embraced each other, we hugged. He was like, Tommy, great to see you. And, he commented about the show and really appreciate his kind words and, volunteering to come on. Because, again, whenever you can sit with a gentleman like that has a plethora of experience and knowledge and insight, if you can't sit there and soak that up like a sponge, shame on you.
Yep.
Because
Absolutely.
I mean, even his little quotes and things that he was sharing from other professionals who have done it, and it seems so cliche, but those cliches are so true. I mean, like you said, if someone's going to quit and not persevere, that's one less person that he has to beat out because he's going to continue to grind. And I love that old school mentality because it's just so true.
Yeah, just the perseverance and everything else. And I love that point. Somebody else gives up. Hey, that's good for me because
that's right.
That makes competition a little less.
That's exactly right. It was great stuff, and I'm thrilled again that our show provides a vehicle and a platform for multiple viewers. And again, we talk a lot about basketball, but sports and life, there's so many parallels, Bob.
Yep.
And, the things that you can learn through sport and the years of coaching. And like he said, every day you got to continue to learn and grow because, he said, John Wooden said it best, it's what you learn after you know it all is what really counts. And I think it's a great comment. And, I'm an Indiana boy just like John Wooden, and I truly believe that. And if you stop learning and you stop growing, or if you stop, transforming with the game the way it's transformed, you're going to be lost. You're not going to know how to communicate effectively with these kids. You're not going to know how to motivate them. And I see that also at the AAU level. I mean, there's a lot of AAU tournaments going on right now. Players are, doing the same thing at lower levels to try to get a college scholarship. And I've got to put some of these coaches that I see at the AAU level on blast because I think they're probably in it for the wrong reasons. I see them yelling and screaming. And, it's all about the next sponsorship or the next endorsement. And that's not what it's about, Bob. It's about the kids. It's about educating the kids, helping the kids grow, helping them become better, and helping them in their path and on their journey so that they can go on it and sign a scholarship. And you teach them good life lessons while you have them for that short time. So some of you AAU coaches out there, let's keep it real. Keep it about the players. It's not about you. It's about the players and helping the players get to where they want to go. There's parents out there that live vicariously through these young kids, and they lose sight of it, and they're the ones getting upset, yelling and screaming in the sand. What kind of example are you leaving for your son if your son or daughter sees you up in the stands yelling, screaming, cursing, and acting a fool? You're basically teaching them that that's the way you should be acting, and it's just the wrong message to send.
Yep, and I'm grateful to like the coaches that coached my son Nick. Well, you're one of the coaches, but that's been something from when it started in grade school. In the super leagues and then going through the AAU process. Just some of the men that coached him taught him some valuable life lessons.
Right.
Because basketball's going to end.
That's right. For everybody.
Basketball's going to end. You can always be a fan.
Right. That's right.
And you can always participate in certain ways. But as a player, your playing days are numbered.
That's right.
But you can learn so much about teamwork, about hard work, about perseverance,
That's
about
right.
overcoming trials.
That's exactly, yeah, because you don't win every game.
No.
How do you respond? How do you cope with a loss? It's just like being in business. You're not going to make every sale.
Yep.
And if you don't make that sale, are you going to rebound and come back the next day and still give a quality presentation to maybe make that follow-up sale?
Yep.
Just because you may have lost one for $300,000, you go back in the boardroom the next day, you still got to bring your A game and be like, okay, that one's gone, but let's move on this one because maybe this one's $350,000.
That's right.
So you got to bring your A game every day. Love those life lessons. Hey, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to have Riverton High School's Spencer Anderson live on the Coach Scott Field Show. So we're going to take a break. Spencer Anderson's going to be right here with us. Really excited to have him come on. I'm being pointed at. That means we're live. We are live. The producer's keeping me in check. Hey, we have Spencer Anderson live on the Coach Scott Field Show here from Brave Haven Studios. Spencer, it's great to have you on the show, buddy.
Great to be here.
Hey, a quick update. Coach Ty Corbin is the head coach of the Sacramento Kings Summer League team, and right now it's the third quarter with 24 seconds to go. Houston Rockets are beating Sacramento 52-50, but we got to give a little shout out to Ty Corbin and him being the head coach of that Summer League team down there. They've got a group of guys that are going really, really hard, and we've talked a little bit about Summer League. We took a little hiatus from the show last week, but so thrilled to have you come on the show, because a few nights a week, you and I, we're in the lab and we're going hard.
Oh, yeah.
What is that like for you? Because this is the way I see Spencer Anderson. Spencer Anderson is a great kid, has a great support system with a great family. You do a great job in the classroom. I'm not going to misrepresent you. What is your GPA? I'd be stunned if I hear a number different than what I think, but what's your GPA right now?
4.0.
I'm not surprised. 4.0 student, hardworking gentleman, and you were a key role with Riverton's team last year, stepping up, hitting big shots. You've got a great game. You can shoot the ball. You can play. And you're getting physically stronger. You're working hard with John Madsen. So teamjmp.com, John Madsen, his work right here. You're looking good. What's your weight up to right now?
About 190. I'm looking to be around 195 before the season is.
Oh, you're going to have that.
That's the goal.
I watch yourself. You're dedicated. You're focused. Coach Madsen has you on a nutrition plan. Mm-hmm. I see you eating right. You're taking care of yourself. You're fueling the machine. You're working the machine. And I've watched you work extremely hard in our development workouts, where we're working on core, we're working on stabilization, we're working on balance, we're working on footwork, we're working on ball handling. It's high level, high intensity skill development. And I've seen the things that you've done within a month, and I'm excited to see where it's going to be for you with Riverton High School next year.
Me too. It's going to be fun.
What is it like to have that individual instruction with high level, high intensity stuff? Because I'm sure we're showing you things that are different than maybe what Coach Galley has shown you, what Coach Wilson, congratulations to Coach Wilson, being named the new head coach out at Riverton High School for this next year. The community is definitely going to miss Coach Galley. I believe he was head coach out there for 17 years. We wish him the best of luck. I know it had to be a hard decision for him, but I'm sure he's out there training for a marathon right now. So,
Probably.
Coach Galley, we're going to miss you out there in the community. We wish Coach Wilson the best of luck. What are these high-intensity type workouts? What has it done for you? Are you feeling a difference? Are you feeling stronger?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
For weight training specifically, of course I'm getting stronger because I'm lifting weights, doing footwork there too. But then with you when we're doing our private workouts, it's just like the little things that make such a difference. Like with stability, it's like body weight, just kind of bend down, touch your toe on one foot.
Yeah.
It's like it's different. It's a different type of muscle that I'm training with you, and then it's just makes all the difference on the court. So.
Well, I tell you what, TJ had sent us a text earlier, and he had a scrimmage Saturday morning. He sent a text, and he was so excited. He went 12 of 14 from 3, and he says the confidence that he's gaining, so happy for TJ, and it's going to be the same for you. And with your work ethic, I can see you being a Division I player coming up this next season. Tell the coaches who could be watching this right now nationally, what does Spencer Anderson bring to a college team moving forward?
Hard work and just up for anything, I guess. I mean, I have a strong body. I'm pretty decent sized. I'm quick too, so I could be a pretty good defender. I like to think so.
Well, I watched you and your brother Tanner this last year. Tanner was so undersized, but he was also physically strong. And most nights he's guarding someone 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, but he's so physically strong, he would bang him and move him off the block to make that person catch it out of their comfort zone. And I don't think Tanner got the credit that he deserves. So Tanner, we're thinking of you, buddy. You had an outstanding season. We've got a big farewell coming up this Sunday. I hear that he's off to Portland, so we're excited for you. Look forward to seeing you Sunday. But you have the same tools because you are physically strong. You work extremely hard on and off the court. Like I'm saying, you take care of yourself. You take care of your body. You can guard multiple positions. I think you could guard a 2. You could guard a 3. You could guard a 4, whether they were facing up, because you're quick enough laterally and physically strong enough that you can stop them and beat them to the spot that they want to get to. You can bump cutters. Defense is about heart, and you have all that heart. But offensively, you can get to the basket. You know, you're good off the dribble. You can create space, create contact. You know, finish strong. But your ability to shoot, I don't think you get enough credit for how good of a shooter you are. You're a good catch and shoot person, especially coming off a screen, squaring up, and shooting. Definitely have that 3-point range. That's in your arsenal. So college coaches who are out there, you know, who need a guy who's going to put in the work, who's going to get it done in the classroom. It's just like your older brother who has had a great career, who's actually in England right now. Austin, thinking of you out there because I'm sure you're having some fish and chips while you're watching the Coach Scott Fields show. But, you know, Austin has done a great job. You're that same mold, and I know a lot of that are things that you're learning from your family and your support system. What types of things have you learned from your family and your father that's preparing you as you get older with your journey?
Work ethic mainly, because I don't know, I've always looked up to my dad of how hard of a worker he is, and Austin kind of took after him too with the grades and stuff.
Without a doubt.
So I had a lot of good people that kind of set the path for me. So that was Austin's the one who got me into all the lifting and the nutrition, and then John has been a great role model to me too,
Yes,
helping me.
He's fantastic.
Helping me find my way. So, I mean, I've been blessed. So that's not really all I can say.
What do you think moving forward? Riverton High School next year. How good do you think you're going to be? That's a tough region. I mean, let's be honest. It's the toughest region in the state, 5A. I think a lot of people are going to kind of overlook Riverton and maybe not give the respect that you deserve. But where in that region do you think you guys should fit and compete for next year? Because you guys have got a good core of young players and people like yourself who are leading the younger players. That program, you know, is in a good position right now.
The goal is not to, like when we play in region, not to lose a home game. So that means that we're going to not get swept by any team in region, and just do pretty good that way, and then sweep our rival Harriman is
There
obviously.
you go. Oh, that's a big one,
That's a
huh?
good one.
Oh, Harriman, and you guys actually had to have a play-in game last year
Yep.
to get to the state tournament, and it was a competitive game. You had to play on a neutral site, so I'm sure there's a little bit of fuel and motivation from that
Yeah.
loss that you guys have to carry all through the summer going into the season. So I'm glad to hear you say that, okay, Harriman is a team that you need to take care of. We actually had a Harriman player who came on here earlier. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. I like your guys' chances. I see the program that you guys have. I see how hard you work. And I think you guys have got a lot to prove for this next year. And a lot of people that may not have Spencer Anderson on their radar, they need to be opening their eyes a little bit, because hopefully your role is going to open up. Where do you see yourself offensively? How many points per game do you think you could average this next year? I mean, I know you're a great team player. You're very unselfish, but what, 15, 17 points a game maybe next year?
That would be a good number for me. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be what I'd be shooting for, but just kind of I want to really focus on defense, because
There you go.
I think good defense leads to good offense, and we're gonna have fast breaks, and we are undersized, but we're fast too, so good stops on D lead to fast break points, and we can't have the 6'10" guys chasing us down the court, because we're faster than them. But if we're playing stationary 5-on-5, it's
gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
His basketball IQ, his acumen, his work ethic, obviously getting it done in the classroom. I can see you being a Division I player. I'm thrilled, and it excites me to see how excited you become when you're working hard on the floor. The first 12 minutes, you've got a good lather going on already,
Yeah.
and you're working hard, and I love that about you, and that's why I'm thrilled to have you come be a guest on the show to let the coaches here in the state. I mean, there's some great programs here in the state. You got UVU, Weber State, good programs. You got Utah, BYU, strong programs. I think any of these guys, you could be a guy who could come in and be a role player and, help a program get stronger because of your work ethic and how strong you are. And I love the fact that you said you're more focused on the defensive end first. You don't find that much in today's generation. Most guys just want to get it and be the scorer, but you already know there's going to be scorers, and you're so unselfish that you know that your defense is going to lead and give you rhythm into your offense, and I respect that about you. What are some other things after the play-in days? And I know it's so early, because are you 17 right now, 18?
Mm-hmm.
What types of things are you looking to do after your basketball play-in days are over? Is there a certain major that you'd like to get into? Is there what interests you? Is it business? Is it maybe a medical field? What are you interested in?
I've been exploring around, kind of talking to my dad, because he's a businessman, and
Sure.
so business would be great, because I have a lot of good mentors and a lot of options there. And then maybe radiology. I've always since I've got into fitness and nutrition, and I just like learning about the body a lot, and so
Okay.
I thought, I'm not really the surgery kind of guy, so I was taking a different route, and I thought maybe radiology, learning with
Wow.
how the body works and stuff like that would be fun.
Outstanding. Well, I know whatever career path you choose, you're going to be successful. You're a great person. You have an outstanding family and support system. I love the way you work. I love the way that you get after it. And I feel, and I'm not just saying this because you're here on this show, I share this stuff with Bob many times, that there's a lot of talent here in the Valley. And you're one of those guys that you will supersede them and surpass them because of your work ethic and your heart and your dedication. I think your laser-like focus and dedication to your craft right now to become the best basketball player that you can be is commendable. What types of nuggets or lessons would you give a young player out in the Riverton community who's maybe a 5th or 6th grader, maybe a 7th grader, who maybe looks up to Spencer Anderson? What would you tell them to become a great player for Riverton High School in the future?
Work ethic mainly, but you got to be smart about work ethic, obviously, because there's a lot of things that go into it. And basketball specifically, get into workouts like Scott Fields and stuff like that. And you could get just the basics down, kind of. It doesn't matter where you're at, like 5th, 6th, 7th grade or wherever. You could get in, and we can work specifically to your, like, where you're at, and then build from there. You don't need to be like crazy athletic, 6'3", just massive, and then you come in and you think that you can't do it because there's guys before you that have done it, and they're 6'3", 200 pounds, but you work from where you are.
That's right.
And see where you can make it with your heart and work ethic.
So take the skill set you have, take the tools that you've been given, your God-given tools, and work extremely hard on your craft. It's going to help them become a better player. I think it's a great lesson. What other types of lessons would you give to someone to help them with their discipline and their focus, even in the classroom, because it's a student athlete and student comes first. You've got a 4.0. So take us through the day in the life of Spencer Anderson. What time are you getting up in the morning? You've probably got a specific breakfast that you're eating because you're probably taking care of your protein intakes and your supplements. But take these young players through a 24-hour period in the life of Spencer Anderson.
Okay, so during the summer, no school or whatever, the past couple weeks we've been having workouts with the team in the morning. So that's at 7. So I'll wake up at 6 so I can get solid breakfast in, so I'm not playing on an empty stomach or whatever. And then so I'll have sometimes I'll have 4 to 6 eggs, and I'll put some bacon and then have some vegetables with it in like an omelet, so like carrots, broccoli, onions, whatever.
Is it an egg white omelet?
Sometimes. Depends on the morning.
There you go.
But so yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll bring my protein shake for after. And so always have water though.
Right.
For sure, always have water.
Hydrate.
And so eat that, water bottle, protein shake, go get that workout in, and then after, make sure you're getting hydrated in the middle, protein after, go home, just kind of relax, recover a little bit.
Get that the recovery is so important, and sometimes I don't think enough individuals who are student athletes, they don't give themselves enough time for recovery. And just like the protein drinks that you're getting for recovery and that rest that you need, you're working with John Madsen too. How many hours a day, or is it every other day, or is it like upper body one day, legs another day? What's that routine like?
Yeah, so I rest when I get home. It's probably around 10 o'clock, and then I work out at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So I'll get a solid lunch in, relax, and then hit the gym hard at 3. I'll go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'll go upper body one day, legs the next, rest Wednesday, and then upper body, legs again, and then rest the weekend, and then hit it again hard the next week. So it's good. And then so work out from 3 to 4, get protein in after and everything, and then I help train kids there from 4 to 8 o'clock, and then get a good dinner with my family, and then call it a night and get ready to wake up the next morning.
And do it all over again.
Yeah.
Bob, I love the fact to hear the discipline and dedication. Yeah, I mean, you hear it in his voice. He not only does he talk about it, he is about it.
Yep.
And it's fun to see, and this is what it takes. This is, all these young players who are out there watching right now, I hope that you have your notebooks out, because Spencer Anderson is sharing his skill sets to help you get to that level. And I appreciate you taking the time to come be a part of the show. If there's a college coach out there watching this right now, and you could give them one message about Spencer Anderson from Riverton High School, what would that message be? If they're starting their recruiting process and your name's on their list somewhere, what is it about Spencer Anderson that sets you apart than maybe another kid that they could be recruiting at the same position?
Mainly work ethic and dedication. I don't think I could be outworked. That's kind of my mentality, is like,
Love that.
don't be outworked no matter what, because you can be better, that you can be more talented than me, you can be taller, I don't know, all this stuff that you were blessed with, and it's great, but work ethic is something that it's from the heart, so, and that's what I have.
I'm going to tell you coaches here right now, I've watched it firsthand. He's talking exactly about what it takes. He is a hard worker. I've seen him come in after, you've talked about your routine, and then you've come in and had high intensity workouts with me at 7, 7:30, even 8 o'clock at night, and still go for 90 minutes. When you had no legs, you would still grind it out and get that 90 minutes in with us, which takes you to a whole nother level. And I can honestly say, I highly recommend Spencer Anderson to whatever program that's out there. Great character, outstanding person, unbelievable work ethic. Never have to worry about you on or off the court. You're going to be a great teammate. You're going to be an outstanding role player. And I believe that you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses. And you work hard to limit those weaknesses. And, by the time you are a sophomore or junior in college, because I'm sure you also do, your mission.
Yep.
What an outstanding person to be on any Division I roster out there. I don't care where it's at in America. Hopefully here close to home, but wherever that may lead you, I'd say, guys, you better get on that phone or you better give me a call because you want this guy on your team. So appreciate you coming on the show tonight,
Thank
buddy.
you.
It's great to have you. You're looking good, man.
Thank you.
Bob, wow.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Hey, I got a question for you, Spencer. Discipline and your work ethic, all of that comes from being challenged. What's probably one of the biggest challenges you've faced as a student or as a student athlete or that's helped you grow?
I would say so. 7th and 8th grade, not the brightest years for me. So I was kind of just play video games. I'm just like average mediocre basketball player. I'll go shoot a little bit. Once I break a sweat, play some more video games, and then mainly I didn't realize it was a challenge at the time, but my brother Austin challenged me to be better, to be what I need to be to make the high school team as a freshman. And that didn't just mean go lift, go shoot. It meant hit the books, make sure you're just don't waste your time doing pointless things. And so he just helped me realize what needs to be done and what's going to be productive in my life to help me just be better.
That's awesome.
You know what I hear him saying? Not only does he work hard, he works smart. And if you can learn that at a young age, at 17, the sky's the limit. There is no ceiling effect.
No.
Yeah, so you're already working hard, and you're working extremely smart. Love that about you. I can't wait to come watch you play next year. I know Brandon's going to be off doing his thing, but we're going to have to be filling up the old Wolf Den to come see Spencer Anderson do his thing next year with Coach Wilson. Wish you all the best. Thanks so much for being on the show. Hey, we're going to take a break, and we'll wrap things up here, but what a great show with Spencer Anderson right here with the Riverton Snow Wolves, and I think they got a little something for them donkeys out there in Harriman. I'm just putting it out there now.
right now.
I'm live right now. Hey, we're back on the Coach Scott Field Show. It is Monday, July 21st, and we just had Spencer Anderson right here with the Silver Wolves.
Silver Wolves.
I
knew there was something. I knew. I was going, there's something.
You know what it was? Several years ago in China, I coached a team called the Snow Wolves. And for some reason, I had a brain hiccup, and I was calling Riverton the Snow Wolves, and it's the Silver Wolves. My son just graduated from there, and I'm calling them the Snow Wolves.
And I thought it was the Timberwolves. I'm a Hillcrest Husky guy.
So. But I had to throw that little jab in there. And, you know, talking about Harriman, I want to send a special shout out to, a young player who plays point guard for them, a good friend of my son, Tyus. Tyus is a little point guard for them. He started some point guard. He was playing out the Big Mountain Jam out here a few weeks ago. And Bob, it's one of the freakiest things. He actually, made a play underneath the basket, dove, came off the court, and he hyperextended his elbow.
Oh.
And, we're here. I know he's had a little cast and a sling on. So, Tyus, if you're watching, buddy, please have a speedy recovery. I know it's hard to sit there and be patient. You were told you had to be out, several months. I know it's hard, but, continue to have faith. Continue to take care of yourself. We hope and pray that you mend and heal quickly. So, Tyus, heal quickly, my man. I know it's hard to be 16, 17 years old and to have that type of energy or injury where you completely dislocate the elbow and it's out of socket. And, I just appreciate his perseverance. And I know he works so hard that he'll get himself back right, and he'll help, that Harriman team. I said donkeys just to be fun because we always teased him. Those Harriman donkeys out there. But, Tyus, I love you, so thinking of you, and I hope he heals quick.
Yeah, and that's one of those things like I was asking Spencer about. What's the challenges you faced? And sometimes it is an injury. Sometimes it's not the mental aspect. Well, the injury does have a mental aspect that always goes with it.
Yeah, because then you got to trust that injury.
You got to trust it. You got to let it heal right. You got to do the things that are going to make it strong so it doesn't re-injure and aggravate and continue on for the rest of your life. So our prayers are with him out there.
Well, we hope that he has a speedy recovery, and I know how devastating that is. And I can remember, I believe it was my freshman year in high school, Bob, I actually broke my arm because I was the quarterback of the football team, and I dropped back to make a pass, and I busted that bone right there. And so I was casted for a while, and of course, dummy me, I wasn't going to stop. I had that cast on my arm, but so what I'd go out on the court, and so for 6 weeks, I'm just shooting with my left hand, which made me more ambidextrous, which gave me another tool.
Dimension.
So again, I throw that out there because sometimes we think, oh gosh, it's devastating. But you know what? You can still work. You can still work on your game. There's other things and other aspects of your game that you can do to make yourself a more complete player. There's a quick nugget. Tyus has got that bad right arm. He's in a sling. Hey, go out, work on that left hand. Work on your left hand dribble. Work on that release. Work on that follow through. Get out. You can keep yourself strapped up. Work on reverse layups, different spins. There's multiple moves and things that you can work on to continue to be a complete player. So utilize this time, Tyus. Get yourself healthy. Work on that left hand now to be a more complete player. But our thoughts and prayers are definitely with you, and we hope that you heal quickly because you hate to see a young man miss out on a senior opportunity like that, especially when you know how much they've sacrificed and given so much to the sport. But again, just another life lesson. Two great guests tonight, Bob.
Oh, absolutely.
Tommy Smith, the Senior Director of Basketball Operations, calls in tonight from Nashville before he takes off and goes back out to New York. Really appreciated the things that he shared with us. And again, Team JMP, with their sponsorship and to have, one of their, obviously, you see how strong he is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, John Madsen has done a great job getting him physically strong. But you know what? John can have all the nutrition and all of the program set up, but unless you work hard at it and dedicate yourself, just like Spencer does, you're not going to get the results. Spencer's getting the results because he is so dedicated, and he's eating right, and he's resting, and he's putting in the work, and he's still giving back, helping others up there working out. And I didn't know if people overheard that, but he's still giving back to the
Right.
youth and the community, even as he's working on himself. And what an outstanding individual, and what an outstanding commitment to and testament of what kind of character he is.
Right. I mean, here's a 17-year-old young man who is who's already a good role model.
You better
all of us are role models, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, right.
It's nice to see the good role models.
Oh, just, you know what? To me, it's really what this show is all about. And there's so many great athletes out there that, we've not had a chance to get on. Hopefully we're still going to be able to branch out and get some more athletes on, especially the local athletes, because we definitely want to promote and market them. We'll continue to always do that here on this show because, you and I, we believe in it. And it's great because a lot of times here in the state of Utah, they don't get the national recognition that they deserve. There's players here in this valley, and the Lone Peak team showed it a couple years ago when they went out and competed nationally when they were number 2 in the nation, or in the top 5 in the nation, and did a great job in South Carolina and the tournaments that they were on the East Coast. So don't sleep on it.
Nope.
The leagues and the talent here is good. Now we may not be as athletic, but fundamentally they're good. They're just good kids. They work hard, and there are a lot of great support systems out there for these kids, and you got to love the Anderson family and the support that they've given Spencer, because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, that's the truth.
And you got to love that. You just got to hope that the tree's not on a hill, right? So the apple doesn't
topple down and get bruised on the way.
Well, that one there was not on a hill.
Nope.
So fine young man. Let's see if we can't get a quick update on our score with Coach Ty Corbin to see how he's doing out there. Let's get it. Oh my goodness, it's the 4th quarter. There's 23 seconds. Coach Ty Corbin is about to win the Summer League Championship. It's 75-67, the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, wow.
Coach Corbin,
awesome.
Great job out there, buddy.
Good job.
Super excited for you. So there's 23 seconds left, which means there's going to be another 5 minutes of basketball to go. The timeouts, the special situations. But how fun is that for a coach to be able to sit there and work on special situations to put these guys in the situation that they're going to be in come the NBA season?
Right.
What great practice to emulate the season, get the plays in, work on where they need to be. To play under that pressure, you got to love it.
Well, play under that pressure and to, for the most part, just be a bunch of guys that have been thrown together.
Thrown together with limited practice time.
Yeah.
And it's and if you watch the teams that, like the top 8 teams that went to the top 4, that's down to the final 2 right now, those teams that played better together are the teams that advance. There's other teams out there that had great talent, but if they didn't play collectively as a team, or maybe they weren't as strong defensively, they're the teams that, again, fell to the wayside. And those well-coached teams that play unselfish basketball, that play their roles, a la San Antonio Spurs in the championships, there's a reason why it's successful. You got to give up the me for the we. And you got to love that.
I like that. Give up the me for the we.
All right. Well, listen, hey, we're going to sign off for tonight. We really appreciate you coming and being a part of the show. We're going to have another couple shows before we take a break going into the fall. So we appreciate your loyalty. Thank you for your support. We'll continue to bring quality guest lineup on. I had a couple guys who have already, talked about trying to come on and be a part of the show next week. So it's going to be pretty exciting, Bob, these next couple 2 or 3 weeks, as we end season 1 of the Coach Scott Fields Show right here from Brave Haven Studios.
Absolutely. And we just want, like Scott's saying, just thank everybody for tuning in. We had pretty good viewership tonight.
Oh, good.
We appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in, sharing your thoughts, and sharing your the links to the show with your friends and stuff like that. Just thanks so much.
You bet. Actually, last week, one time I went on to CoachScottFields.com, and I saw like 21 views from Turkey.
Yeah,
and I was excited.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, hey, that's a new one."
Yeah.
So it's nice to see Turkey came in and supported our show. So you guys in Turkey, we thank you. It means a lot to us here locally. Nationally, it's outstanding to have the viewership, and again, internationally, we're humbled by the support, and we appreciate you. But we'll be back again next Monday night, 7:30, right here from Brave Haven Studios with the next Coach Scott Field Show.